stay here?
Okay. We'll start call to order. Tim Whitehead, would you please
I'd be
lead us in
happy
the
to.
Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Tim Showman is absent. Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffrey.
Here.
First of all, before I start with correspondence, good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is our Tuesday, September 15th, regular meeting of the Mason County Commission. Item number 4.1, correspondence. Do we have any correspondence to come before this commission?
Yes, we do. The Department of Transportation sent a letter regarding annual updates and accomplishment reports. The Liquor Control Board sent a marijuana license application for Bomar Holdings and a list of businesses with marijuana and liquor licenses due to expire in 90 days, and noticed that the Muse restaurant has discontinued sales and service of alcohol.
Thank you. Any other correspondence or organizational business?
That's it.
Then we'll move on to item number 5. Item number 5 is our open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak on any issue that is not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, we ask that you wait and take it up at that time. And you will be given an opportunity, if it's on the action agenda, to speak. But if it's not on the agenda, this is your opportunity. But remember, there's 15 minutes maximum, up to 5 minutes per person, so please keep it brief. With that being said, we'll ask that you hold your hand up, be recognized, come to the podium and announce your name and perhaps where you're from. Yes?
I'm pretty sure it won't take 15 minutes.
There's a whole spiel I have to go through to.
No, it was impressive. I'm Bill Stevenson. I'm a news director for iFiber One News, and we are starting some up. Yeah, well, that's our parent company, iFiber Communications. They do the internet service providing, television packages, and phone. But with that, we usually bring an online digital news service and a URL television station, which we had started in Grant County quite successfully. But I want to introduce myself today, as well as Jeff Chu in the back. As you can see, we have our uniforms.
So will you be attending the meetings regularly, or just?
We're gonna be beginning that soon. So
Okay, we'll try to make sure that you have a place to sit. And
any place in the public's good with us. We're pretty fine and casual. Just wanted to introduce ourselves. When you see us wander around, going, "Who's the new press?" It's the new kid in town. So.
Okay, please.
And I would encourage you to give your contact information to Julie for any news releases.
Absolutely.
And welcome to Mason County.
Thank you.
How many jobs you guys bring? Just curious.
I know there's at
A lot of
least,
jobs.
I think there's already 4 in the office, and we'll probably be bringing more as we grow and expand, so.
That's wonderful. And I actually heard a commercial on KMS for you. I was like, okay, I like it. Working together, that's a smart move.
Yes, the internet side of it, I believe it was the PUAD asked iFiber to come out and start becoming a retailer for it, because the success in Grant County, what came with it was the news service that I generated there, so. We're hoping to have the same success and help everyone, and be a nice compliment to the newspaper and radio as well.
So is it web-based news?
We do web, we do television. In Grant County, we also provide some radio news as well. So we kind of generate the content and then distribute it through every means we can to get it to people.
So do you have your own station for the news, or how?
We were doing it through a television package as well as URL and several services. Like if you're not a cable subscriber and you use like Roku or maybe Apple TV, we're working our way into that segment, kind of getting around it as well.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious how this works, if you don't mind me asking a little
Sure.
bit more. So are you guys over the top of Comcast and Wave? Are you stretching out in different areas?
Mason County is our it's our fourth or fifth county that we've moved into for internet communications, and that includes a television package like a cable, because it can go through the fiber optic without a problem on the bandwidth.
So is it only, because there's fiber optic in Allen as well, are you guys up there, or?
I couldn't actually answer most of that because I do the news side of the company, so I know that where the fiber optic goes will depend on where the PUD is at. And whether they've installed it. And if you have a junction box and are able to get fiber optic to your home or business, then we can become the retailer for that.
Interesting.
So I know that before I start working for the company, I was their customer, because I got tired of 7 megs a second and slowing all the stuff down at home. The wife's on Netflix and I'm trying to work, and we switched to them, and I think we're at 97 megs a second consistently.
I'm
So,
not sure we have a lot in homes though,
So.
up there in the north end. I know we have it going down the corridors of Belfair and Allen for the
Yeah.
businesses, but I'm not sure how much has been extended to homes.
well, from what little I understand, the PUD is expanding the fiber program. And that's why they were looking, and knew Kelly Ryan, our CEO, saw the success he had in Grant County doing that and wanted to see if he could help, build this fiber system out to be a benefit to all of the county.
Actually, if you guys have a card, appreciate it if you drop one off for us also, and
I'll make
have
sure.
further communications.
I think I still have one. I met a lot of people yesterday, so it was
I
a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to see? You did take up a lot of time. See that? No, I'm just kidding.
It was just kidding.
I won't. It's all right. Is
tried.
there anybody else who would like to speak at this time in regards to any item not on the agenda? No, Conley? On today?
No, not today. Sorry.
That's all right. Then we will go ahead and close out item number 5, move to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded for the adoption of the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the August 24th, 2015 briefing minutes, September 8th, 2015 regular meeting minutes.
I will second. It's been moved and seconded for the adoption of the approval of the August 24th, 2015 briefing minutes and the September 8th, 2015 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Next up is item number 8. Item number 8 is the approval of the action agenda. All items listed under the action agenda may be enacted by one motion unless a commissioner or citizen requests the item be removed from the agenda and considered as a separate item. I'm going to go ahead and just jump through it without all the other stuff. I'll read them real quick so we can make this the shortest meeting we've ever had. Looks like it. Item number 8.1, approval of the Veterans Assistance Fund application for food, $150, and housing, $2,340 for a total of $2,490 as recommended by the Veterans Service Office. Item number 8.2, approval of a resolution adopting Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization, BHO, interlocal agreement. This BHO will replace the existing regional support network. Is there anybody in the audience who would like an item taken off for a separate vote? Commissioner, any items you want taken off for a separate vote?
No.
I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the items 8.1 and 8.2 on the agenda. I'd like to make a statement about one of them.
Please. I'll second.
Thank you. Item 8.2 is the culmination of a lot of work. We have contracted with Thurston County through a state mandated regional support network for mental health services. The governor's initiative on integrated healthcare has now created these same types of regional support networks, now called behavioral health organizations, where substance abuse and mental health services are both provided through these networks. In the past, our relationship with Thurston County around these types of services has been pretty much Thurston County driven, and through a lot of work from our Director of Public Health and Human Services. Did I get that right? This agreement, if you'll note, gives Mason County governance with this organization, so we do have some control over the flow of funds, as well as a commitment to increase the amount of services in both in substance abuse and mental health here in the county. As of to now, most of those services need to be delivered in Thurston County, so this is a very large victory for us. And because Mason County, or because the state of Washington has participated in Medicaid expansion, there's additional federal dollars around these types of services that who knows how long they'll last, but we will have additional funds to be able to provide those additional services here in the county. So kudos to our director here, and to mostly also to the Thurston County Board of Commissioners for acknowledging that we needed to have a seat at the table, and so we're really glad to have that.
Thank you. Anything further?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. The action agenda is adopted. There is no public hearing set, so that brings us up to item number 10, which is department heads and elected official. We have a department head I know that wanted to speak. Oh, we have two. You get to go first.
Oh, you go first.
Yeah, because hers is a full proclamation. We need it.
Okay.
Good time.
Justin Smith with WSU Extension Mason County.
Thank you, Commissioners. Good to be here this morning. I just wanted to give a quick update to you and to the public. Cultivating Success, which is our new farmer entrepreneurial program, will begin October 20th and run through December 15th. Right now, we have not established locations because we are waiting for people to start signing up. We're hoping to have 2 options, one in the north end and one in the south end here in Shelton, as a means to kind of help provide as many opportunities for people who want to participate. The other program that we're currently developing and working hopefully with the library on is the Community Tech Academy, which in the first one we'll be working on is Google Apps for Work. So we'll be providing educational services to how people use Google Apps as a means of collaboration. More and more businesses are starting to adopt these technologies as a means to collaborate, to share documents, and to build sites, and engage in all various forms of work. And so part of our effort is to help get people up to speed on how to use them effectively, how to deploy them, and how to leverage them with the greatest ease so that they can do their work more efficiently.
How are you cultivating the people that you're getting together?
So we're going to be doing and engaging a strategy in terms of marketing through the chamber. We're going to be marketing hopefully on the radio soon, and we'll also be working with WorkSource as well. So currently on a weekly basis, I am going up to WorkSource, giving information on various programs and services to the Transition Center. So working with Simpson employees, as well as working with other people who are at the unemployment office on a recurring basis.
Can you invite, are you allowed to, can you invite high school students?
Yes.
Seniors and juniors?
So our programs are open to all, regardless of age, nationality, race, creed, all of that. So
Please make sure you also include North Mason.
North Mason?
See if we can't get a few of them to come in.
Yeah, I would love it. I think it would be really a beneficial to kind of the junior, senior level kids. I think that it would help give them a foundation for moving into junior college as well as into university. I think one of the reasons why we chose Google Apps is primarily from the business standpoint, is that more and more companies are starting to use collaboration systems to be able to collaboratively create documents, create video, to create content, right, for the social media, for the web, and versus some other kind of tools like SharePoint. I know SharePoint's used extensively, and I'm not going to badmouth SharePoint. And Blackboard is typically the de facto school type platform for learning, but we found that in an educational standpoint, that as soon as students leave school, no one ever touches Blackboard. They're asked to use either Microsoft 360 or they're asked to use Google Apps or some other type of system. And so we want to be able to provide the training that's most relevant in the business community. Yeah, rather than Blackboard.
Do you mind if I ask one more question? Going back to the Cultivating Success, can you just outline who it's for and
Yes.
what types of skills they'll be learning?
So this is the Ag Entrepreneurial Program that will give information and training on business planning, so farm business planning, doing a kind of SWOT analysis and identifying their kind of strategic position in terms of starting a business. So it's new farmers, people who are interested in becoming a farmer, and working to identify is it a good economic decision for them to enter into this, considering what their land is, what kind of commodities they want to engage in, whether it's working with direct marketing with farmers markets. So we'll do direct marketing strategies as well with them. So it's going to be an 8-week program. We're primarily focusing on those new and beginning farmers to do the business planning. In the spring, we will be working on the sustainable ag section, and that's going to be focused on integrative pest management strategies, soil fertility, pasture management. All of those pieces will be in that. So that's going to be more on the production side, and this is on the business side. So we want people to get an idea whether or not this is something they want to do before they go into the next stage.
Well, that's exciting, and hopefully that will also lead more to the farm-to-table
Yes.
opportunities.
Yeah.
I know that there are local restaurateurs that would like to probably get more local food.
Yes, I agree. And we are actually also currently in the process of doing a Mason County food system map. And we are working with the Eating for Health. So there's the Department of Health, Mason General. There's various groups that are working on this committee to basically map out and identify local farms, local retail points. So not just Safeway and Fred Meyer or Walmart, but also what are the where are the farmers markets at, where are the food banks at. So basically mapping the entire food system, putting it on a Google map that is actually accessible to everybody. And I can actually share that with you so that we can, once there's more there, then everybody can access it, and it could be a resource that's used for not only for community development professionals or consumers, but also tourists coming into the community wanting to identify where's the best place to go pick up fresh oysters, right? So that's
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
It was a lot longer than I expected.
Thank you, Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Commissioners. Vicki Kirkpatrick, Director, Mason County Public Health and Human Services. And before I read the proclamation, I want to take a moment to thank the Commissioners for the strong support and work in bringing to fruition the joint governance for mental health and chemical dependency services and increasing access to those services in Mason County. I am very excited about what this new joint behavioral health organization will bring for Mason County, and you have been extremely supportive through the entire process. Prosecutor's office has been very supportive as we developed the BHO interlocal agreement, and it's just a really good thing for the county, I think. So thank you for that. And speaking of mental health and chemical dependency, September is National Recovery Month, and I have a proclamation to read. Whereas preventing and overcoming mental and/or substance use disorders is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles, both physically and emotionally, and whereas prevention of mental and/or substance use disorders works, treatment is effective, and many people successfully recover in Washington and around the nation, allowing them to participate in employment and engage in their community. And whereas in 2013 in the United States, 2.5 million people aged 12 and older received substance use treatment, and 34.6 million adults aged 18 or older received mental health services, according to the 2013 National Survey on Drug Use and Health. And whereas in Mason County, 45% of 10th graders reported experiencing depressive feelings in the past year, and 32% of 12th graders reported using marijuana in the past 30 days in the 2014 Healthy Youth Survey. And whereas this year's National Recovery Month theme, Join the Voices for Recovery, Visible, Vocal, and Valuable, highlights the value of peer support in educating, mentoring, and helping others. And whereas we must also encourage relatives, co-workers, and friends to help prevent behavioral health conditions, recognize the signs of a problem, and guide those in need to appropriate treatment and recovery support services. And whereas to help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, and the Board of County Commissioners of Mason County invite all residents of Mason County to participate in National Recovery Month. Now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Mason County, do hereby proclaim the month of September as Recovery Month in Mason County, and urge all citizens to join with us in this special observance to increase awareness and understanding of mental and substance use issues and celebrate the success of those who recover. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there any other department heads who would like to speak? Elected officials? I don't see any. With that, we will go ahead and move on to item number 11, which is board reports and calendars.
Thank you. I'll start, I'm assuming. Okay, so last week after our meeting, we had a second meeting, after our Board of Commission meeting, we had a second meeting of stakeholders interested in solving the problem of where do you take people who are decompensating with mental illness and/or their drug or alcohol use has caused them to be a danger to themselves and to the community, but yet they're not yet criminogenic.
It didn't sink in.
Yeah.
I tried, but
we have this de facto need to put them somewhere, so they end up in our jails. And so we've got a great group of folks working at work. What can we do to prevent overloading our jail system and/or putting them back out on the street? Assumptions about $10,000 can be spent in personnel and service times for one person who is acting out and continues to throughout the community throughout the day. I've had a meeting with the MACECOM, and I attended the Port of Hood Sports meeting with business owners and Department of Transportation around some transportation concerns on Highway 101 going through to Hoodsport. Had a meeting with Commissioner Netherland, attended also stakeholders regarding trails planning for Shelton to Belfair, using various routes, and our hope is that we can access some of the Navy's rail use, and this would be a multimodal trail, and so we're getting started on that. It'll be long-term work, but it'll be very helpful to our tourism as well as just the health of the county. Had our joint meeting with the Thurston County Board of Commissioners on this behavioral health organization agreement and attended a chamber event. Met with one of our contractors for our mental health substance abuse services that does casework folks, and they are doing tremendous work this year. The numbers are outstanding, and we'll get a report soon. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but this organization, Northwest Resources, is open to 14-bed inpatient treatment, looking at expanding their outpatient treatment and integrating it with mental health, because so many times people are dealing with both at the same time. I met with the Mason Transit, some members of the Mason Transit Board around some planning we need to do as a board, and identifying what our role in policy governance or policy direction for the Mason Transit Board. But you're not using that term. Okay. We had our Board of Commission meetings yesterday, including a joint meeting with the City of Shelton and the EDC boards and directors regarding how will we utilize legislative appropriations to address the impact of the closure of the Simpson Mill as well as LPP. And I think we've come to agreement on some of the uses of the monies, and we'll be having a memorandum of understanding and contracting coming out soon on that. I'll attend the League of Women Voters meeting today, Mason Transit Authority meeting, board meeting, and then we have a Criminal Justice Working Team meeting on Wednesday, and I will be attending, I don't know if you will be too, the Reagan Legacy Dinner on Thursday the 17th. And then we have a Peninsula Regional Transportation Planning Organization meeting on Friday, where we approve the 6-year plan for the region, the Peninsula region.
Excellent. We had our briefings this last week here. Last year I missed no Mondays or Tuesday meetings. This year I've missed one, and now one about a quarter or half. I went to my daughter's first day of school, and instead of attending the morning meetings, I gave myself a break, and I tell you what, it was incredible. I'm a lucky, blessed man. Anybody that's watching little 5-year-olds screaming at you that she loves you from across the parking lot, there ain't nothing more powerful than that, I'm telling you. And the teacher screamed, she looks just like you, poor thing. She looks like her mother, and she's beautiful. She's beautiful. Okay. I also met with. We had that meeting on the trails in regards to the rails trails, so to speak. Except for one of the things that may occur is because we already have somebody that's up north that is looking at donating land and investing money in the situation. The trail may go from Belfair to Shelton.
That's true. We'll probably start in Belfair.
So it'd be a nice little change there. Met with Tim and Karen and Barbara in regards to some of the issues to finalize up how to keep the drawings, the schematics, and designs in the files for what we just passed, relieving some of our agricultural community and our local builders from getting permits on some of the smaller structures, the storage buildings. Went to the Democratic meeting. They had the gentleman who's running for the superintendent of schools, of public schools, Washington State, the head guy there. It was pretty interesting listening to all that, and I'll tell you what, that is the one thing I just hope like heck that we finally someday get a grip on. I have a pet peeve. I've been working with those kids for so many years, and you find that it's building blocks that are missing that affect them for the rest of their life. I have one that I use as an example, is I tutored her, and she was in remedial everything. Wonderful girl. I had coached her. She seemed very smart. And so as I was tutoring her, I kept finding out that we kept going backwards. And I broke it down and just started over from the very beginning. And I know that sounds strange, but we went, 1 + 1 is 2. And it appears that she had been, the idea of simple subtraction had been left out of her education. And can you imagine the effect that that has on you for everything else that you do? And once we found that out, that simple building block, it had a huge impact in her life. And 2 years later, she was the Honor Society up at the high school. You know, it's just amazing one piece can go. And I'm bringing that up because at our schools, quite often what you see is ninth graders trying to get their math class or their English class, and there's not enough of them for what they need for their basic classes. They can get poetry or something else, so they'll take their ninth grade class in 11th grade. In order to be able to catch up on it. Imagine being taken out of that step-by-step education by 2 years, what kind of effect that has. Not to mention, it should never be like that. The simplicity of it all says there should be enough main classes to cover the main courses such as math and English for every kid in their grade level as they're going through. So that's why I wanted to have that conversation with him, and because up north we suffer from that a lot. You know, I've had a lot of these nieces and nephews that weren't able to take their classes on time. They have to take them a couple years later because there's just not enough room. But they can get into home ec, they can get into filmmaking, they can get into all kinds of stuff, but there's not enough classes for the basics. Sorry about that soapbox. That's been bothering me for a long time, and here was an opportunity. We had our EDC regular meeting, Belfair Days, Food and Fellowship, and then, of course, our briefings next week. As soon as I leave here, I'll be going down to talk to somebody about a multi-family housing development that they're looking to build up in North Mason. And again, a little pat on the back for Commissioner Jeffries and all her work in getting that through. I'll be meeting with a developer on the trails for North Mason Chamber of Commerce Executive Board meeting, Mason Transit Authority, Seattle Coalition, the ones who built one of the cannabis growing places up north. They've invested $2 million. This one is extremely professional. You don't go from room to room without scanning your cards. Everything is videotaped. If a plant moves from one room to another, it has to be scanned in, has to be scanned out. There has to be no time lapse between. It is pretty impressive. They've, by the way, I just heard they are now up to 30-something employees that they've brought in there.
Called the Seattle Coalition?
Seattle, I can never remember that second name. It's like a coalition or something, but it's down the Old Buffer Highway. They were the old nursery that was there, and they invested $2 million in a new state-of-the-art nursery system that is just incredible. I've never seen nothing like it. You touch a button and everything in this huge building size of a football field starts to go black. And it's just, I don't know, it's amazing. A lot of money that came here. Well, the best part is when I talked to him before, he had, 15 employees. They started at $15 an hour and went up to $80,000 a year. Now they're up to 30-something employees. And the reason why I'm going is I'm being asked if I can go down there and look at this because they want to expand and do more. And I don't know, yeah, we have this situation, whether people like it or not. I don't smoke, I don't deal with that stuff at all. But you know what? Those jobs, when they're feeding their families, are extremely important. We have a situation here in Shelton where Simpson closes and we lose all these jobs. But if anybody's noticed, our unemployment has not really been ticking much. It has a lot to do with what we did in that industry. We may not like it, and I can appreciate that. But when you look at the port and everything else and all the different jobs that have come in with this, and again, as I said, I can assure you too, in there you can't be high. I mean, you flat can't. I've never seen anybody want the owners. I've never seen them high. It's an investment banker, an AT&T executive, a premier builder in Washington State. These guys are crystal clear-eyed. They're just making money. That's what it is. So just keep that in mind. There's some benefits to that. So I'm going to go down there and take a staff member and go look at it and see what they want to do. See if we can help move them along, create some more jobs before the next closure that we have. Okay, and Again, then we'll have our briefings. I'll meet with the Executive Director of the Lions Healthy South Sound. I have a Finance Committee meeting, and then we have Board of Health. That brings us back to our Tuesday evening meeting. Is there anything further to come before this commission?
I have nothing.
Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second, we are adjourned. Have a great day, everybody.